Hi, welcome back to Jilly's Journey. My name is Jill, and I would like to just let you know that I'm going to try to focus my channel a little bit more on mental health awareness, mental illness, things that I've experienced, things that I've learned, and I'd like to also include um, any information that might be of help or assistance to you. And a lot of it does stem from personal experience. So, since I'm sort of announcing that this is what I would like my channel to be focused on, at least for now, I will tell you a little bit of my background. You know what? Hold on. Let me open the windows a little bit because it's starting to get warm because it's spring, which is really nice. But I cannot sit in the car with the windows up right now. It's too warm. So, like I said, my name is Jill, and when I was growing up as a kid, I'll try to say this as fast as I can and just give you a general overview of my experience with mental illness. And then from topic to topic, maybe I will add in a little bit more information from time to time, more details. So when I was a kid, I grew up in a very loving household. I have great parents who I still live with right now. I've been blessed. I thank God every single day for my family because I'm very lucky to have the family that I do. Mental illness does run in my family, at least on one side of my family. And when I was younger, I was a pretty normal child. I was definitely happy, and I was a tomboy when I was a little kid. I just liked sports, and I liked army shirts and cargo shorts. Like, there was nothing abnormal about that. I was just a little tomboy. When I got into 5th grade, long story short, there was some bullying that I had to deal with, and it ended up making me feel paranoid when I would go to school and worried constantly. And then I got picked on for my clothes and what I used to wear, like sweatpants, sweatshirts. Didn't really care too much how I looked. I was just doing me. And then some people made fun of me for that. And so when I got to middle school, I started to dress differently. I started to dress girly, and I had more revealing clothes. And I actually would go as far as to obsess about my outfits, to the point where if I didn't like how I looked, I would pretend that I was sick and say that I didn't want to go to school because I didn't feel good. And that was a lie. Sometimes it was true because I do get sick a couple times a year, but it was definitely a problem. So I think that some of my like excess worry, and of course being bullied, like the paranoia, that started at a little bit of a young age. But when I got into high school, I had a lot of social anxiety just from those experiences, being bullied and worrying about how I looked. I had a lot of social anxiety. So I would drink on the weekends with friends, obviously underage. I would drink on the weekends sometimes with people, and then sometimes I would smoke weed, and I would stay out late and lose sleep, and all of those things can mess with your brain, especially if you're too young. So long story short, smoking marijuana and then eventually trying LSD and acid with an ex-boyfriend that used to use that stuff. I tried it with him 3 times. 3 times in my whole life. I'll never do drugs again, ever. I will never use any type of hallucinogen ever, or any other type of drug, street drugs, recreation drugs. It's not worth it to me because it throws me off, and I don't need it, you know? So I did a little bit of like the hallucinogenic drugs, and that turns me into like a true paranoid person. I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of loud flushing toilets, loud hand dryers in the bathroom. I was just afraid of loud noises. I was like deathly afraid of the dark, so much to the point where I wouldn't even sleep. And so my paranoia got really bad after using those drugs. Of course, like I said, I had a little bit of paranoia that stemmed from 5th grade when I got bullied. But I think that maybe eventually I would have outgrown my insecurities and my social anxiety, and it is what it is. We all have little struggles that we have to deal with, but when you add on to it like drugs that can really mess with your brain and mess with your emotions, that's really what flipped the switch and my brain really changed. So that's the background. That's what led me up to the problems that I had. Need that coffee. So basically, that's what led to my mental illness. And then I was in and out of the hospital since I was 17 years old. I think maybe even 16, or maybe I was 17. I don't know. I think I was about to turn 17. It was like a few months before my birthday. I was in and out of the hospital. I'm 30 years old now. So for over a decade, for longer than a decade, I was in and out of the hospital more than a dozen times. And unfortunately, sometimes the doctors were really great and really helpful. Sometimes they weren't. And that's just because they're human and not all doctors are the same. And some are better than others, and some understand me better than others. And I had a lot of experiences with medications that made me feel horrible. I had medications that made me feel so bad that I just had to go off of them. I would call the doctors and be like, I just am not taking this anymore. Eventually, I went on other medications that are easier for me. And I'm doing really well now. I haven't been in the hospital in, let's see if I can do the math. I haven't been in the hospital in over a year and a half. I wish I could remember like exactly how long it's been, but I'm doing really well. I think it's been because I left my job and then I didn't work for a little while. Whatever. That's like the problem when you go in and out of the hospital so much for mental illness, and when you've taken so many medications and tried so many things, it takes a toll on your brain. Like, it takes a toll on your memory, and it can cause a lot of brain fog, and the medications themselves can have side effects. Right now, for some reason, my eyes are really heavy. I think I'm just like tired, and it's a little bit bright outside, so maybe I'm squinting, but I normally don't look like, I feel like I look high right now, and I'm 100% not. I'm high on life, and I've got some caffeine, but I shouldn't be looking like I'm half asleep. So basically, I'm doing really well now, but I just want to let people know, anyone that's interested in this video and interested in following me, subscribing, I'm going to try to put as much useful and helpful content out there as I can. I'm in a point where I'm on the least amount of medication that I've been on in a while. I'm not on much medication. I'm not on very high doses. I'm doing really well, and I have a great support team, not only of doctors and family members, but people at church and friends. So it's important. One little tip I'll give you is to make sure you don't go through this alone. Get some doctors, if you don't have family members, get some friends. I know it's so hard if you're lonely and if you don't have friends. I really do know what that's like. I went through that for years. But the best place that I ever met friends and people that were like of such high quality is when I went to church. And not every church is the same. So not everyone is going to feel right to you, but don't give up. I do recommend learning about Jesus, going to church, maybe becoming a Christian. I think that you should. I'm not pushy, but I do think it's amazing to learn about Jesus, and I think it's amazing to find community that you can submerge yourself in, and you will feel so much less lonely. You will feel a part of something, and you'll feel important because you are. And you're going to meet people that value you, that want to see you succeed and want what's best for you. And like I said, not all churches are the same, but find one that you like. Find one that has a few people in there that are your age that you love, or maybe like dozens of people your age. The one I'm at has dozens. It has people of all ages. It has so many people, like thousands. But so thank you so much for tuning in. And I think I mean, there's not much else that I need to give you on my background, but I would say, like, don't give up. Don't worry about people that say, oh my God, you shouldn't take pharmaceutical meds, or oh my gosh, you don't need a therapist. If you think that you need help, go get help. If you're afraid to try medication, I'm not going to say go and do something that you don't want to do, but if you're just afraid or you're concerned, there's so many medications out there, and if you can find a doctor that you trust that's not pushy, you could probably find a medication that would help you, and maybe that's something that you need right now. Or maybe you just need a therapist. So don't be afraid, surround yourself with community. And oh yeah, one thing I wanted to mention, when I commented on my eyes, I there are struggles that I'm having right now that I'm working on, and I'll share those quickly. I have puffiness in my face. I'm a little bit bloated, like all the time, like bloated looking, like just puffy. And I've gained some weight from being on medication, but it's just a learning process. I'm someone that does exercise. I lift weights, I walk, I do whatever else, cardio, whatever. But what I've learned is I need to pick something, like one form of exercise, and do it every single day as well as I can for as long as I can, to really try to lose weight and change, because my medications are not, like I said, the dosages are not super high. They don't have a super duper impact on weight, but they do have a little bit. So what I have to do is make sure that I avoid like too much carbs and too much sugar. I could have like a tiny bit of carbs every day and a tiny bit of sugar, but I can't have like double the serving size, like I just can't. My body will gain the weight. So that's important, but also exercise. So what I chose is walking. Now I'm still gonna lift weights. I shoot to lift weights at least once a week just to maintain muscle. I'm a pretty muscular person anyway, so I just need to like maintain it. And then I would like to take a walk every single day for at least 30 minutes. And on my days off from work, I'm trying to do it for like an hour, because I've read so many magazine articles and such saying that people have lost hundreds of pounds from walking. I only need to lose 30 to 40 pounds. I gain weight everywhere, so it's dispersed throughout my entire body. I just need to I just need to gain muscle. I just need to lose like 30 pounds or whatever it is of fat. However much fat there is on my body that's excess, I need to lose that. So wish me luck. I hope this works, and I hope that I am of assistance to you in the future. Thanks for listening to my story, and I will root for you, and I hope that if you're going through mental illness and some serious issues, I hope that you reach out and get yourself help, because the process doesn't happen overnight. So the sooner you get yourself help, the sooner you surround yourself in a good community, the sooner you'll feel better, So don't be proactive. Don't procrastinate. So thank you. Bye.